Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on our comic book creator interviews, including our monthly Chichester chats with comic book legend DG Chichester, superhero movie brackets in our search for the worst comic book movie of all time, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Luca Parrish, host of a Totally Turtle sports and gaming YouTube channel, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network.
Oh, we gave you a couple months to catch your breath, but he's back, kids. That's right. It's another episode of the third best Southgate, Mr. Robert Southgate. See, look. I introduced you before even me and Lilith. See,
very nice. Thank you, Phil. Well, my name is in the title, so
he's the star, baby, the star.
Yeah,
he has to be the star somewhere.
That's right. Well, if we had the other two on, once again, I would drop down to number 3 very quickly. So I'll take it right now.
But his parents walk in the door, some third cousin. He's like down to like 7th. Yeah. But yes,
you're not wrong.
The man who has found the cure for COVID, high concentrations of caffeine and coffee.
You know, we might be right. In the house, I am the most caffeinated, although Molly does drink coffee, and I am the one that is healthy right now. God, please let that stay the same. Oh, yes. That's all I need.
Well,
new year.
Yes.
New topics. But we have to, because we haven't talked to you in a while. We have to touch on the Elon Musk Twitter thing. I have to have your thoughts.
I mean, what thoughts could you have? It's a freaking disaster.
I was like, this can't possibly be real life.
No, I know.
Not at all. Like, this is the darkest timeline. Like, what is going on?
It's mind-blowing, isn't it? And like, before he bought Twitter, we already suspected he was nuts. But at the same time, you were kind of like, okay, well, he's eccentric or whatever, and he's one of these rich guys, and he might be a little bit nuts. He goes all in on Twitter, and it's like, I'm going to play my nuts card. Bam! He's out of control. Twitter is a hellscape.
I think it was a hellscape before, man. Like, good grief.
It was the Wild West after he took over.
This version of Twitter is teaching that old version of Twitter a lesson about being a hellscape. I mean, this is unbelievable. And from a marketing standpoint, it sucks because there is, even though I did not like Twitter, I was really done with Twitter as a social platform. As a marketing platform, it was still very vibrant. I mean, you like for podcasting, you put on there your episode and you tag it right, and you know what, you actually might pick up some listeners and get some interaction. Trick,
you can't even have you can't have like a link in bio or anything,
nothing
to anything, so it's crazy. Like, that was the camel that broke the straw. That was the straw that broke the camel's back for a lot of people.
I mean, I got a lot of interviews through there, just contacting people through Twitter. Yeah.
Well, and that's just it. A lot of when people ask, how do you get interviews? How do you get guests? Twitter was a really solid way to do it, more so than any other social media platform. It's now not. I mean, damn, it's
right now,
a disaster.
If you have the right setup, I would say LinkedIn, depending on what your field is. But LinkedIn, definitely, if you're in like the business, marketing, affiliate stuff like that, it's
100%.
Right now.
Yeah, but if you're trying to get celebrities in that, I mean, you gotta.
Even like comic book creatives, you should check LinkedIn. But like anything else, good luck.
You should, but here's what I've found with a lot of them: unless they're a big name that either understands the power of it or is actively like they've hired somebody to do it. I'm finding a lot of the indie people, they still don't they might have a LinkedIn, but they don't check it. It's not prioritized. It's not optimized. It's like, oh man. And then I see people, because, I know so many people in the industry that are posting things like, I've gone to whatever now. And you go, yeah, I don't even know what some of these platforms are. They're going to these different platforms. I'm like, I don't even know what these are. And they're like, this is going to replace Twitter. It's like, I'm waiting.
The only thing that's going to replace Twitter is Blue Sky, which are the people that all left Twitter to make that app. That's the only thing that's replacing Twitter. Let's all just
Agreed.
be clear about that.
Agreed.
And so whenever that's out of beta, I'll be there. But
Me too.
until then,
me too. And like Instagram and Facebook are pretty much hellscapes. Instagram was really good for a while. It's a hellscape.
they're taking away the shop tab. At least they're starting to. They've lost so much of the market share that they have to literally start listening to their users now, and they're pissed about it.
Yeah, yeah.
They're so hateful about it. They're like, "Well, I guess we'll take this away since nobody's using it."
Yeah, and then it's funny because I still don't understand it as a platform. I know you do, but I keep finding myself looking at Tumblr, going,
I was going to bring this up. Tumblr
I'm a little bit happier
service now.
I'm a little bit happier over there.
Live streaming is amazing.
Yeah, see, I haven't tried it yet.
Tumblr is back, baby. Like, it is party like it's 2014. Tumblr is back. They're putting in a live streaming service. I really think that this might be Tumblr's year.
You know what? I'm going to go with you on that because
Twitter users came back.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you guys.
It is kind of a great space, and it always has been. It just wasn't always. Remember when they made the change, when they bumped us off?
Yeah, when Yahoo bought them.
It turned into a hellscape. Yeah. But now
they put ads. They didn't understand their user base, and now that that's kind of gone away and they kind of actually have a better handle on it, and they put the porn back. Let's make no mistakes. When they took off the porn because of the App Store, that caused a lot of people to leave and go to Twitter. Now they're all back because they actually lifted that ban.
Is that why
like creative writing? There's like certain things for the LGBTQIA that they were like kind of banning under that banner, and so
they can't do that.
And the restrictions are gone.
So that's why Phil has 17 accounts now.
No, Phil doesn't even know where to find porn on Twitter.
Oh no, yeah, Lilith was explaining that to me last night. Yes.
So yeah.
He just keeps saying #Twitter, and it's like, well, you might find something there. I don't know, Phil.
I don't think you want to do the bird porn. Well, birds aren't real, first of all. They're government surveillance. And yeah, Hawkman actually wasn't even a human. He was a robot set up by the government to be a bird. Robot, exactly. Yeah, so we get it. But yeah, no, I think people should maybe try to check out Tumblr now. I think it's a really great way if you are in a niche community to really grow community, to have direct messaging capabilities and just find just content.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny because TikTok finally, I think people are realizing, wow, this is not a great safe space.
It's unhealthy. Yeah.
Even though I did like elements of that platform a lot. Instagram was trying to take it with their reels, and then Facebook trying to take it with their reels. But there's something broken.
Miserably on the reels front.
They have. But you know what? I think, believe it or not, I think Facebook could actually, if they could get out of their own way, could actually take that part of that market. I really do. I don't think Instagram
Live
could.
Is great. I never thought that it would be comparable
it wasn't
to anything, but it's really good now.
It wasn't, but it is.
What was it? They bought Mixer or whatever, however, that whole thing. And they had that influx of gamers to really bring attention to Facebook live streaming and stuff. It has taken off.
Yeah,
well, that and the MLM moms, that do their little buy this.
Yeah,
Those
right.
are the two things that really boosted them and made it really viable, and they actually put money into it now. So
I think that they could take that TikTok market. I think that they're just confused. I think they're trying to make Instagram be the TikTok, but stop it. Stop making it TikTok. Let Instagram be Instagram.
We want pictures back, not video. That's what Instagram was for.
Pictures. Facebook, you could have reels, you could have live, have your groups. I'm happy. Forget that other stuff.
I don't give Meta any ideas. I need Meta to fail miserably.
Yeah. Well, they don't listen to me anyway, so I don't think there's going to be a problem there. But yeah, give me that. Give me Tumblr, even though I don't understand it yet.
No, it's really easy, Rob. Honestly,
I don't know what my problem is
for distributing your. If you want to schedule out your posts, it's the easiest queue system I've ever used in my life.
I used to love it. It's the searching. I don't know how to look for stuff on there. I'm just
tags. Yeah, the tag system.
I'm just lost.
It's a little millennial. It is.
Yeah, but I would much rather be there than looking on. Sorry, YouTube, on YouTube or any of these other places.
Hold on, wait now. Hold on. You ain't gonna mess up our Google bag. What did YouTube do to you?
You know what? YouTube has a few things. I like.
I mean, outside of how they treat their content creators.
There you go. That's it, 100%.
Yeah,
that's it, 100%.
I understand that from a creator perspective. They're always instituting these weird rules because they don't want to monetize you. They don't want to monetize you, but they still want to put ads on your content. I totally get that.
That's where I have a problem. But like,
as a user, not a creator, I'm like, what do you do?
Plus they have this really weird thing where you can make a copyright claim, even though it's not necessarily a copyright claim. Well, anybody
TikTok
can do it.
Too. Yeah.
And like, I've had it where there's no music, there's no image, like a licensed image, and I get a copyright claim. And then I got to dispute it. You got to wait for it to come back. And you're like, really? I mean, really? There's nothing here. But there are these people that are out there, all they're doing is like filing copyright, because they're trying
and they should make a system for those people, which they haven't yet, unfortunately.
Right. Okay. We've talked social media. Oh, I haven't talked about Substack. Should we talk about that?
Yeah, like, which brings us to Rob's newest social media obsession.
Yeah, I am pretty obsessed. It's only been 2 weeks. I started a Substack newsletter a couple weeks ago, and it's called Mic Drop. And it is for my consulting business. It's for Southgate Small Business and the podcast profs. I figured I'm not going to do two. I'm not going to do them specifically. I'm going to just make it like a marketing kind of newsletter.
I'm just going to tell people what Substack is in case they're not really
familiar.
Yeah,
do it, because Substack's amazing.
Chichester Chats, you've probably heard us talk about his story made Substack. So it's actually really still a small company. It's under 100 employees at this point, but it's a really cool platform that provides publishing, payments, analytics, and design infrastructure for like subscription newsletters and other like digital services.
Yeah, for a creator, for me personally, it's kicking Patreon to the curb.
Well, Patreon's always been a pain.
It's
always been problematic.
And here,
coffee, all of those things, even OnlyFans at this point, especially if you're not in the adult entertainment industry, is a pain. So.
It's a pain. Yeah. This is super simple. I mean, you write a newsletter. If you want to make money off of it, you make some free content, then you have a barrier to entry, and you say like $5 a month and get my blank, right? It's super easy. There's none of this, like, I have to.
Are writing different little books and stuff like that, like, tips and tricks. You just, it's easy.
Right. It's great. And the reason this happened, the reason I started on Substack and saw the light finally, was I noticed my behavior. Okay. Something that's hard to do. It's hard to notice your own behavior, especially with social media and that, because when you're looking for it, you start looking for certain things and you stop noticing what like you're actually organically doing. And I noticed I have, 5, 6, 7 Substacks that I subscribe to. Jeff Tweedy has Starship Casual. He's from Wilco. I wait for his Substack, and it's a blurb. It's a blurb. He writes this little thing. He might have a picture from backstage, but then if you pay for it, which I don't, which I'm going to, $5 a month, I think it is, like every few days, he puts like a demo or an original song on. Like, you're not going to hear it anywhere else. And I'm a huge Wilco fan. I'm like, oh, this is cool. Then I noticed there were these women that I just interviewed for New Media Lab that wrote a blog piece about marketing in 2023. They did the ins and the outs. It's really a great article. I really enjoyed it, mainly because it agreed with me. And I reached out to him.
Kind of content.
Right. I reached out to him to interview him. And as I was interviewing, I'm looking at this Substack and I'm like, why am I not doing this? This makes so much sense. I've got a MailChimp I send out. That's a newsletter, same kind of idea. And I was like, this same content can go in all these different areas. But if I want to have a barrier to entry, I can have it on Substack. Forget Patreon. People can buy it here. And it's a more organic way. I think people don't understand Patreon unless you're really into Patreon. It's a newsletter. You understand. Here's what I get. If I spend a little extra, here's what I get for free. Done. Right? So I'm loving it. It's called, the one I'm doing right now is called Mic Drop. I actually, I'm trying to do, technically it's going to be one newsletter a week, but I've already broken that and done 2. But that's because of LinkedIn. The first month of LinkedIn, if you post 2 articles a month, you start getting referred more. So I'm trying to do 2 there each week. I mean, if you do 2 a week for a month, you end up getting recommended or whatever. And I'm like, you know what? I can figure out a way to do content that might be exclusive to LinkedIn and my MailChimp and then have the reusable stuff for my Substack, and then the stuff for Substack. So I'll probably end up writing 2 or 3 posts a week. And then I'm starting another coaching business, and I'm going to write something for there, which I'm super excited about. And here's another thing about Substack. They now have a podcast thing. Mm-hmm. So I can do, they do this great thing where you can go on and you can, it says, do you want to make this into a podcast? You can just read your Substack and make it an audio file on there. And I've seen a lot of people doing that. 2-minute read. Ooh, cool. I've also seen people are doing podcasts on there. So Third Best, you could take this, do a half hour on here, and then say, okay, if you want the rest of it, go to Substack, subscribe, and for $5 a month, you get the rest of the show. But we're not shortchanging you. I mean, you're basically getting it here. But if you want that extra lunacy, go to Substack. And you know what? It gets me that once again, noticing my behavior. I listen to Mysterious Universe at the end of their show. They go, okay, well, we're going to move into our Patreon only show. And every time I'm like, oh, I love it. They gave me all this great content, but there is something more, and I can support them without just buying their t-shirts. You can only buy one t-shirt, you know? So there we go. I love it. Substack. Yep. And I've done all that stuff. I've done Buy Me Coffee. I've done merch. And you know what? Merch is great, but it doesn't really pay the bills.
No.
Affiliate marketing, unless you're an affiliate marketer, you really understand that. We've had an Amazon affiliate account forever. We use the links, we promote it. It makes a sliver. You know, we just got to be able to fund things a little bit differently. And I think Substack's just a wonderful way if you have that gumption to write a newsletter. You know what? One of the things I'm going to do is when I do a new media lab and I've got these interviews, I'm turning it into essentially, I'm transcribing the interview, cutting out things so that it's got like just a few really juicy bits. And that's going to be like once a week or once every 2 weeks. That's going to be a Substack that goes out there. I mean, how cool is that? Yeah.
It's all about repurposing content for sure.
It is.
Not only just to save your time, but just to have content in different, accessibility ways. You know,
just get the word out.
I just took on our YouTube. I've been going through. This is a major undertaking. I'm going through, and I'm putting everything in the right playlists. And I've taken some of the shows. I can't do it with Capes yet. It's too big. But I split Capes up into its various shows. And if Phil ever sends me the descriptions, I'll add those to it. Phil Parrish.
Well, someone ever sends me their comic book list, maybe I'll buy some
comic book list.
You mean that comic book list? And then I found
I'm like Charlie Esser.
Oh. I'm having a panic attack.
You like Miracle Man? I think I have the full run. I think I have the full run.
Phil does. I'll let you have that.
Well, yesterday I went in the garage and we have a cedar closet. I was like, there are comics missing. I only have 2 long boxes here. I know there's a lot more. And there were books when Lil and I were going through it that were missing. And I'm like, did I lose them or something? I went in my cedar closet yesterday. 2 more long boxes, 2 short boxes. I believe there's a full run of Invincible in there, boarded and bagged.
My stuff is like cataloged and organized in my storage unit. I could never lose them.
You haven't moved like 17 times.
Actually,
you have. You're Lilith.
Actually,
you're Lilith. I forgot.
Actually, I think this has been the longest I've been in a place since I was, not in control of my own destiny.
Yeah. Well, I stopped collecting a few years, quite a few years ago. And I stopped at that time. It was pre-internet when I was collecting. So it was like hard to find information. Yeah. I kept boarding and bagging stuff, but over time the boxes get kind of wrecked. And what we found when Lil was here is he's going through and he's like, well, some of this is in order and some of it's out of order. And he goes, oh, you have these, but you don't have this issue.
Phil's having a panic attack. Please stop talking about it.
But I'm like, I know I have that issue.
It's the big one, Daniel.
I know I have this issue. I know I have this issue. Just wait. Like he pulled out the X-Men that has the very first appearance of Gambit. He almost had a heart attack. And it was bagged and boarded. He was like, I just bought this. And yours is in better condition than the one I bought. Like, there you go. Star Wars episode 1 or issue 1 from Marvel.
No, I want those. I call dibs because Phil knows I have.
She did. The minute I mentioned you had them, and she was like, I want those.
I showed him. I was like, see, no, those are mine.
You know what? That first issue is going to cost you, Lilith. I love you, but it's going to cost you
I
because
have to make sure I don't have that
well,
first issue. But if I
that first
don't,
issue, I'm sending it in to get it cleaned and
you
everything.
are? Okay.
Yeah, because it goes from the condition it's in right now. It's probably worth about $250. When I get it cleaned, it's minimum $450. And mine is, Lil was like, this is in such good shape. And he's done some of that cleaning. He was like, this is going to pop it way up in grading. Now I do have another one that the cover's all ripped up on.
Nah.
But I have a lot of the run.
I don't do ripped up covers. I can't.
No.
Unless it's like
and you
old
said you
Superman.
had
That's the
Star
only
Wars,
exception I make for
Star
it.
Wars, and you said you had Star Trek too. Because Lilith, didn't you say something about the Star
I have
Trek?
Star.
one, too?
I don't really do Star Wars. I do Star Trek. I do
I-
both the
I've-
Marvel and the DC Star Trek. So
I have a
and
few
then now
Star
it's
Trek.
like IDW. Yeah.
I have a few of them, the DC Star Trek. That's what I have. Just a few. But we're talking, I've got a ton of DC. I've got like the first 29 issues of Booster Gold or something. I've got just a lot of stuff. Of stuff.
I understand.
You know,
Okay,
I was a heavy collector back in high school and in my 2020s. So
we're on a freaking podcast, Rob. If anyone wants to like
Oh yeah. If
shop
you really-
online with you, where's the best way for them to do that?
that's a great
Get
thing,
yourself a
Phil.
Mercari. Actually,
Let me write that down. What's a Mercari?
it's like eBay but better. They take less fees.
Good,
That's
because
MECARI.
I just sold some Star Wars toys. I have a lot of Star Wars toys that I've been selling. I was avoiding eBay. I was doing it on
eBay's
market.
a scam. Please don't.
Well, you know what? For comics,
As a seller, they're really terrible. for
Yeah.
sellers.
Alil was saying do it on eBay because they'll sell, but man, they take a lot. I just sold a set of 4 Star Wars toys, $140 for the 4. So I had a good deal. I did a good deal on it. I said buyer pays shipping. My payout is like $108.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's really terrible for a seller.
that's horrible.
Mercari has lower fees.
Okay, I'll check that one out. And the other thing is I join groups. So I'm in a Star Wars group called ICCC on Facebook, and you can go on there and you can put all your stuff and say, claim auction, or you can say, here are my prices.
Like PayPal, where are you taking?
And then I do either PayPal or Venmo. And you know what? Well,
Ew, Venmo.
Venmo's easy. It goes right into my account.
Okay.
Oh, Lilith.
I'm just gonna tell you, Venmo is backed by PayPal, and PayPal are scammers. That's why I don't like Venmo.
So what would you use?
Cash App or Zelle.
Okay, I'll look into it. Yeah, I mean, this is something I'm new to doing. I sold a sand crawler for $1,000 a couple weeks
You
ago.
want to know why I say Cash App though? You can lock your card.
Oh,
You can't do that with any other card. So.
and I'll check that out too. Pro
I
tips
love how
from
this
Lilith.
Nice pro tips from Lilith Hellfire.
I love how this episode has just become Lilith yelling at Rob. No, old man, do it this way. No, do it this way.
Isn't that what this is? I thought that's how this show went.
No, it's usually us yelling around Phil,
Like,
making
wait a
fun of
minute,
Charlie,
are you-
who's not
What
here.
are you talking about? I don't interrupt at all.
Well,
Well,
where's the Charlie puppet? Damn it!
Oh, I don't have any puppets.
see, he
out
wants
right
money
now.
from us, man. Give us a Charlie puppet, man. I'll pay for that.
You never know. I do have some
Chances
puppets.
never zero.
A Charlie puppet might be an interesting one. I might add that. I'd make it shirtless.
He is losing weight though, so. to
Well,
be
I
fair.
wouldn't body shame. I might hair shame.
Yeah, definitely that's allowed.
Oh, please. He makes Hero's hair looks nice when you're on.
That was hilarious. I love that episode. It's like he's getting ready for his 3rd grade pictures. That's so cute.
I do it for free.
But yeah, the social media landscape has been crazy for like the last 2 years. Poor Snapchat.
Yeah.
You know, there were like people literally like making money from their Snapchat posts just like a year ago. Now that's all gone for whatever reason.
Snapchat was one of them. Back when that first launched, I was
They
in
were
my
feature rich and everybody stole it from them. I'm like, how are they stealing this from Snapchat? Do they not have a patent? Like, what?
Yeah. They're a strange company. And, I did a case study on them when they first launched. And I wrote this whole thing about how I
remember.
believed you could make money at it. And I was right. I was right in what I said, but I still didn't do it because I was like, I still hate it. I'm
And
not
it still was really hard to do too. Like a lot of
Really
people
hard to
couldn't figure
do.
it out.
And from a marketing standpoint, like Taco Bell got it right. But Taco Bell got it right. They're the one company that really got that right.
To be fair,
for a while.
Yeah.
For a while, they got it right. But yeah, I'm not sad about Snapchat. I just don't get it.
I mean, it was so feature rich. I just don't like. I feel bad for people that like invested their money in it because it is.
Yeah. But Tumblr's back, baby. Tumblr's back.
I mean,
I also like
Yahoo's making money from. I'm sure.
I still like Pinterest too.
Oh my God! Pinterest has a live streaming thing now too.
Oh,
Did you know that?
Pinterest
is like, I literally haven't touched Pinterest in 3 years. I went to just go check it out like at the beginning of the year to set my mood boards and resolutions. I was like, what is this? What is this? What is this?
Yeah.
Go check out Pinterest if you haven't been there in a while.
Well,
it's changed drastically, and that's the best place actually for affiliate marketing now.
Well, and that's where in this new structuring of what I'm doing, I added the Substack. Part of this thing is I'm going to figure out Tumblr again, and then Pinterest. I'm going to use Pinterest because I think Pinterest is a great marketing tool.
You
and
just
I
have
love
to dedicate a little bit of time, just a little bit.
Right, and I love flipping through it when I start when I
don't
find
get
something.
lost. Don't get lost flipping through it.
No, I don't. But I do love it's way better, than doom scrolling on Facebook or anything like that, Instagram used to be great for doom scrolling. You'd scroll, and like all those great pictures. Now it's like
I bring back the chronological feed, and then Instagram will be perfect again.
Yeah, and stop with the ads every 3 posts.
Well, unfortunately, that's not going to change.
FanDuel. Yeah, I really want to do some sports
TikTok
betting.
Is superior. Like I literally get maybe one ad every 3 hours.
See, the less ads you get, you'll get Lil Hellfire's business.
I deleted TikTok. I was done, even though there was some stuff on there that I really enjoyed. I liked parts of this platform quite a bit, but it's not the hellscape Twitter is.
So if you didn't like the content, you were fooled.
Oh, it wasn't the content. It was what it was. There was stuff about TikTok I just didn't like. Some of it I loved and some of it I just didn't like. And the content I was getting, mine was like all marketing tips and stuff like that. I really loved that. I was like, this is great. But then it didn't go for me. What can you say? So let's move on to Phil because he's got geeky stuff he wants to talk about.
Well, it's
frothing at the mouth over there.
I mean, since it's been a couple months. I mean, my big question was, what have you been watching, TV show wise?
Does he have time? I don't think he has time. I saw he was watching some movies. That's about it.
No, actually, we watch a lot of TV. In fact, here's something that you don't know. In this reorganization and bring things around, we are going back to the well on a few of our shows. Maeve and I have decided to go back and do season 1 of Orange is the New Black, which was the only season we did not have on our podcast, which was one of our highest rated podcasts. Great. So we're going back.
The ending, so now
we're going back, and we have a great plan for how to go forward with that. And then the other one we're doing is Bingeworthy gets a lot of attention. No, we already did the entire series.
I don't care. Retrospective, family retrospective. I demand it.
Nobody here wants to do it.
I don't blame you. It ended terribly. I don't want to
plus, there's nothing better than hearing 7-year-old Molly on that original show.
I love that show. If you guys have never listened to it, please go listen to it. It's so cute.
Yeah, it's great. And it was all Molly's idea. Like, she really is the one running that show. It's really cute.
The family podcast. It was so cute.
But the one that we have never capitalized on that gets a lot of interaction and could really get a lot of interaction is Bingeworthy. That was a live show that we did it live at the Blue Box. When we did a couple of shows not live, we did them. We just kind of went, and then we decided, we watch it. We binge a lot of shows. Why not? We came up with a format. We're going to start recording some new Bingeworthies. We're going to make something out of it. What have we watched recently? God, this isn't recent. But I just saw Yellowjackets season 2 coming out. We watched Yellowjackets. Oh, Mythic Quest we're binging right now. Mythic Quest is amazing. Do you watch it?
Do
you know what it is?
Streaming services at all?
Apple Plus.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to okay it.
I mean, Severance. That's about it. Yeah.
Ted Lasso, Severance, and oh my God, Mythic Quest. It's Rob McElhenney's show. It's about a video game, an MMO company that makes MMOs.
Okay, that sounds cute.
Oh, it's not cute. It's brilliant.
Oh,
It's
okay.
brilliant. And it's not like Always Sunny. Like, it's very different vibe, but it's the same people. Charlie Day and Rob McElhenney with Megan Gans, they write it or they created it. I can't think of his name. David Hornsby, who plays Rickety Cricket on Always Sunny. He's one of the creators, and he's on it. Oh my God. It's Danny Putty is on it. And he's great. I mean, it's a great show. It's very funny, but it is not the vibe of Always Sunny at all. It's completely different, but man, it is so good. It's got F. Mary Abraham on it, at least for the first 3 seasons. It's brilliant.
Wait, how many seasons does it have?
I think we're at the end of the 4th season. And it's brilliant. It's so good. By contrast, we tried to watch Cuckoo. Did you see that one on Netflix? The trailer was really good. It's got a lot of British actors, and then what's his name? The one from Lonely Planet or whatever that's called. The guy, you're gonna know who it is as soon as I say it. Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, Sandberg?
Yeah, Sandberg's in it. He plays a guy named Cuckoo. Trailer looked great. We started watching it. Man, by the end of the first episode, we're like, turn this crap off. It's not going to make binge worthy. Other than we're going to post. We didn't make it. We also tried
Have
Easy.
you done Kaleidoscope yet?
Not yet. Is that one good?
I mean, it's a gimmick. I mean, for the gimmick, I would prefer Interrogation on Paramount Plus, but I haven't finished Interrogation yet. But I finished Kaleidoscope, and I'm like, it's Giancarlo. Of course, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, Kaleidoscope is that the one Will was telling me about it? It's like
you can watch it in any order,
except for the last episode. The rest you can watch.
Yeah, I wanted to see that. It's
interesting. I want to see people who actually like watched it in more than one different way to see how they feel. I haven't done that yet.
Well, I did see an article that said, here's a way to watch it that people freaking love. But I thought, I think I want to dive in and just try it a little bit before I do that.
Okay, so how it works is Netflix determines the order that you watch on your account. So so that's the deal. So
you can't choose your order.
You can, but like if you just push play, they do it randomly for you. Allegedly.
Nice. Well, that's kind of like Bandersnatch when they did that with and that was
choose your own adventure,
super cool. So
but that was also in the Black Mirror universe, so that's a little different.
Which is super cool.
Which we need more episodes,
the other one we tried that people kept telling us was really good, and it's supposedly full of Chicago actors, so we thought, we should watch this, was Easy. I don't know if it gets good after the first episode. I freaking hated it. I hated it.
Can I give you a recommendation from Hulu?
And
I usually never do.
We really dig the actors in it. So we were like, oh my God, we like these actors. And then halfway through, we're like, are you enjoying this? No. We went further. We're like, I can't watch a second episode.
So what were you going
to say?
The writing then?
Oh, The Bear.
Bad. Oh, The Bear is genius.
Oh, okay, good. You know about The Bear. I didn't think I was going to like it, but I fell in love with it.
My God, The Bear is genius. You know what's interesting? So we watched The Bear as a family. We loved it. Boy, is that a Chicago show, too.
Yes,
Holy
I was
cow.
going to say.
I mean, I'm like, I think I've been in that beef place. Amazing. But Cousin on there, who is such an a-hole, right? Did you watch Girls?
Yes.
Okay. We watched it originally. We watched the whole thing. Well, Molly and Maeve just binged the entire season, or the entire series. So I'd go in and catch. And Cousin is on that show. I completely forgot he's on that show. Did you remember that?
No, I didn't, actually.
You know who he is? He's the musician, actor, douchebag, Oxy boyfriend.
Gotcha, yes.
Oh, I hate him so much on Girls. And, Girls is an interesting one because I kind of hate most of the characters.
Broad City's better. I'm gonna
but it's funny. It's about girls, but it's really, other than, I love Shoshana, but the male characters, Adam Driver is brilliant on that show. Ray, the guy that plays
twist. That's the plot twist.
The guy who plays Ray is like, I could watch Ray. Just call the show Ray and follow his grumpy ass around. I love Ray. And Elijah, my God. I like every time they're on, we're just like, oh, this is the best show. And then it goes back to Hannah, and you're like, okay, it's interesting what they're doing, but they keep saying how she's like insufferable. She's insufferable.
Well, I don't
real life too. We're not into that, but yeah.
I love my favorite quote is like, I think it's from the first. I think I am the voice of my generation.
You might be.
Like, sweetie, no.
Yeah.
I just need you to sponsor me financially. I know people like that, so I shouldn't even be laughing.
Come on, you're the Pepsi of the new generation.
I am the RC Cola, damn it.
Yeah, but Pepsi.
I am the Archie Comics.
Okay, you are the Archie Comics. You might be the RC, but I'm not sure.
I hope I have a clean drop of that of Lilith saying, I am the voice. Think I'm the voice of my own generation.
I could never be that self-involved. Like, that show turned me off so bad.
Oh my God.
Except like, this is not Sex in the City for millennials. No. It's not.
But then there's Adam Driver, and you can't take your eyes off of him. And there's Ray. Like, Ray's story is
the
never.
The girls in the story are gross, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, I liked Shoshana. I thought she was an interesting character, and I did mostly like. Is it Jenna? Mm-hmm. The one that was on Sex Ed. I mostly liked hers. She's a train wreck, but I mostly liked hers. But the other two, I really couldn't stand Marnie. And then she's with Cousin. Whoa, turn it off. But yeah, so we've been watching that. I don't know what else we've been watching. Lots of stuff. I talked about the negatives. Can
I recommend Fleabag for binge?
Fleabag is genius. We've watched that more than once. We watched that more than once.
It's so easy to. It's like 2 seasons.
Yeah. And it's just.
And it's perfect ending. Like, it hits
was that a Fox?
Gut.
Was that a Fox? Yeah. No. It's brilliant. And then people are like, "Where's season 3?" She said
it ended right. Season 3.
It should not have a season 3. Now, have you seen? She does a live version of that show.
Yes.
Have you seen it? I have not seen it yet. That's what it's based on. Is her live one-woman show. It's absolute genius. What an amazing show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk about a gut punch. We're not going to spoil anything. I need
you guys to talk about that on Binge Worthy. That is my one request. I will send you $5. Send me your cash app.
We will talk about Fleabag because all 3 of us have watched it and we're all pretty obsessed with it. It's brilliant. What else have I been watching? I mean, I think since the last time we were on, I binged The Boys, which I love. Yeah. I'm not ever showing Maeve. It's like not she doesn't like superhero stuff, and this is like superheroes, and she'd be like, "Really? Why are we?"
I think she might like season 3.
Climbing through a urethra. I'm not sure.
Odd. Okay, because it went to streaming very quickly. I mean, Maeve and Molly probably didn't watch it. Did you see Black Adam yet?
Actually, I was watching it this morning.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Why would you subject yourself to that?
Because you know what? It was on there, and I was like, I haven't seen it yet. I try to see these things. It's not terrible. It's not the worst DC movie. It's not good.
Well, that's a low bar.
It is
Super
a
low.
It is a low bar. And
I'd rather watch Wonder Woman 2 than watch that again.
Ooh. No.
But like, listen, like I'm so glad that everybody's finally caught up to me being on this rock hate train because it's been a long time overdue. That is the best thing about that movie. That it's like, oh, everybody's on the bandwagon with me now.
Yeah.
Welcome to the shit show, people.
Yeah, I mean, he has 2 moves. He just does those.
Oh yeah, the Justice Society makes that movie. It's not him.
Yeah, but it should just be a Justice Society movie.
Exactly. It should have been
Pierce
Justice
Brosnan and Hodges make that.
Yes,
correct. That's what I've been enjoying about it.
Can we get the prequel spinoff to this, please?
Exactly.
Yeah, give me. I mean, I'd much rather see, and I'm sure James Gunn is thinking that he's going to do a Justice Society, but he's going to go back and he's going to show us those original fun characters. We're going to get to see Sandman with his sleep gun. We're going to get to see Flash with his metal hood on, which we've seen on TV, but we're going to get this instead of Ezra Miller running fast into a wall
in armor.
Yeah. So I think there's going to be some interesting things there. I don't hate it. I mean, I'm watching it, but I keep watching it going, okay, so you guys are still chasing Marvel as far as tone. And
so bad. It's like, bro,
it's very obvious. Yeah. And you're not getting it right because the dialogue is not clever. That's just it.
We've been
with
trying to
Marvel,
make this movie for 15 years, and they literally didn't change the script from the first one because that
sucks.
dialogue is from 15 years ago.
Yeah, it's not. But see, then again, there's some things I like. I'm really. I don't want to say this because I do like superhero movies. Like every time I'm like, oh, I got to watch a new Spider-Man or I got to watch the new whatever.
You're
and then
hopeful.
I am hopeful because you know what? I do love all that stuff. I don't like when it's the only thing we're getting fed, but I do like that stuff. But this movie, I'm watching this, and as much as that first fight scene when Black Adam shows up in the desert, that was a pretty cool fight scene. And then I'm like, why is it that we can't see a movie that resolution can only be from two people hitting each other? It's over and over and over again.
Nail on the head, Rob. Nail on the head.
Batman was interesting. The Batman did a little bit better job of that, but I wouldn't say all the Batman movies have done a good job of that. I did like the first two Nolans. The third, Batman's not in it.
That's a Sam Raimi. I'm just gonna do it out of spite. Whatever the studio wants, I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna argue with you. Make a terrible movie. I'm still getting paid. I still have Prestige, Inception. I have Memento. I have all these other great things. My brother has Person of Interest. Obviously, we're talented. These are your decisions.
I agree.
He's in a pit. You know, it's like, where's Batman? I don't know.
Let's talk about Memento. What a movie. And Guy Pearce. Oh, yes.
Yes.
I'm a big Guy Pearce fan.
Me too.
Okay. The greatest guy. And Memento, like everyone's like, that's the one. That's not the one. For me, Guy Pearce, the greatest. LA Confidential.
Oh, really?
Oh my God. Guy Pearce and Russell Crowe are astounding in that movie. I know everyone has other ones, but for whatever reason, that one hit me square. And every time I've seen it, I've been like, damn, this is like a note perfect.
The Adventures of Priscilla. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's
didn't
a good one
expect that
too.
one from me, did you?
No, but I'm not shocked. Just didn't expect it. Guy Pearce, though, I mean, even the horrible time machine.
Yes,
I watch it because of Guy Pearce.
I will rewatch it if it's on like
but it's because of Guy Pearce.
TNT.
Yeah, and it's bad. Although it does have that great scene where he's in the library and he talks to Orlando Jones, and I'm like, okay, you got Orlando Jones in here, which is always fun. Nobody knows who he is. I love him. And then you've got Guy Pearce.
7 Up yours. Although he is, from American Gods, and that show went down the hill when they got rid of him. So
yeah, no, that went downhill when they got rid of Brian Fuller.
True. But
and did you see Brian Fuller?
Brian
Fuller, what's the new one he has coming out? Is he doing Camp Crystal Lake?
Is he? I mean, they're still letting him do stuff after the Star Trek debacle?
No, there's a new Brian Fuller. I was really excited. Brian Fuller, IMDb. I was shocked when I saw it was him, and I went, whatever it was, I went from, this looks cool to like.
I thought.
Yeah, hold on. I'm on IMDb.
Oh, I see Friday the 13th. Yeah.
Is that what he's doing?
Mm-hmm. Christine and Friday the 13th. So it's going back to horror. So
that's
cool.
Crystal Lake, I'm telling you, is going to be good. And you know why I am so confident?
Because of Hannibal.
Hannibal was so.
And people get so mad about the ending. I'm like, babes, did you read the books? He literally combined those two, and that's what happens, minus the booby shot. Like, be serious.
How about Gillian Anderson being forced to eat her own leg in that show? I mean, that show is.
That show, like, season 3 is off the.
Oh, it is. It's crazy. But even think about episode 1 of that show. That's the one when they looked in the silo. It's the first time they look down in that corn silo and all the bodies are there, and you realize it looks like an eye, but you realize Hannibal is an artist. Like, this is his art. It was like because at first when you see it, even on the show, you're like,
did not know what to, again, screw NBC, never knowing what to do with their projects.
That show is genius.
A masterpiece.
Now, Jillian is friends with Brian Fuller. That's why she's on American Gods as well, and she's amazing on American Gods.
Well, she's amazing in general.
She is, but she likes to work with him. So when you look at his projects where he has some control, Hannibal, which Crystal Lake, they gave him the reins. And they're like, okay, do something with this.
You think she's going to be the mom?
I have not seen her name pop up around this.
It's going to pop up. She's going to be the mom.
You really think?
I think they're going to do it.
You know what? If they do, I'm going to move in on Camp Crystal Lake because I will watch anything with Gillian Anderson. Let's just talk about her for a minute. The Fall. Did you see The Fall?
Yeah. Hello. Yes.
Oh my God, Phil, have you seen The Fall?
I was just like,
oh my God.
She did that and then went back to do the X-Files. That's the thing I can't understand.
Well, X-Files is really interesting too.
The continuation.
Yeah, I actually liked it. But she has said she is not ever doing X-Files again until they get rid of Chris Carter. Well, you know what? Here's my prediction. I'm gonna have a mark my words moment. They're gonna get rid of Chris Carter because he doesn't own it. Fox owns it, and Disney owns Fox, and that is an IP that they have something they can do with. They just got to get it right.
Yeah,
they just got to get it right, and I guarantee you, there's a whole generation that grew up on X-Files that is in creative control now, just like they did with Star Wars. As soon as they got hold of it, they went, "Wait a minute, let's give it to somebody. Let's give it to I can't think of his name. Boy, I'm drawing a blank here. But Mandalorian." They gave it to Fellini and whatever. They gave it to them. It was like they gave them the sandbox and said, do something cool. And they were like, we're going to do something cool. That's going to happen with X-Files at some point. We are going to see Scully as older Scully. David Duchovny, what's he got going on? He did the Craft remake. Oh,
no. Listen. Hold on. Let's not discount David Duchovny's post X-Files things. He was in movies. He had that show on what was it, Showtime? He had a couple of shows, and he had that show about the serial killers in the 70s.
We're going to discount it because a lot of it's not very good, except. Hold on, except Californication. He was great.
Okay, I was gonna say Californication now.
He was great on it.
And we did like him playing himself, if you know, you know.
Yeah, right. We did like him on the one you talked about. It's not Gemini. What the hell's the name of that one? The one where he's Zodiac. The Zodiac Killer one. Yeah. But that was not.
But it was network TV. So
yeah, it was network TV. It wasn't good, and he was kind of dialing it in. He was okay in it, but if you look at a lot of his other stuff, like this Craft thing, oh my God, he's horrendous on it. I mean, I
saw it, unfortunately. I mean, obviously,
oh my God,
I had to see what they did with it.
I couldn't get through it, and even the trailer, I was like, holy cow! And you would think the trailer, you've got David Duchovny, you're going to give like a line that did nothing to work with,
but it wasn't for people that, oh my God, there's David Duchovny. It was for the girlies.
Then why did you hire him? Why did you pay him money?
That's kind of like, why'd you hire Matthew Perry in 17 again? He needed the work.
Ugh. Now you just ruined my day thinking about him. I'm not a Matthew Perry fan at all. But I'm not a friend.
You don't like Studio 60 on Sunset?
You know what? I never watched it. Once again, Matthew Perry.
Or Mr. Sunshine, like all those flops he had after Friends.
Yeah. Yeah, and then he did that.
You could have at least given it to Matt LeBlanc instead of.
And that's one. Okay, everyone hates on Matt LeBlanc, who is not good either, but he's
no.
better.
I like the other stuff he's done post Friends. Don't get me wrong.
I liked Matt LeBlanc in the Lost in Space movie.
Yes. Okay. No, thank you. Somebody had to say it.
Everyone's always like, "Oh, that movie's terrible." I'm like, it wasn't terrible.
It is what it is. It's camp, like intentional camp. Not we made a bad movie, so now it's camp. No, it's intentional camp.
Intentional camp, and I liked him in it. I liked that movie.
Literally perfectly cast. I was like, it makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, he's all right, but Matthew Perry just doesn't do anything for me. Never has. I'm not a Friends fan. Never liked it.
You're killing Phil. You're killing independent Phil.
Sorry, Phil.
I mean, Friends isn't my absolute favorite. No, I get it.
When Friends came out, it was Seinfeld was the lead in, right? So, or no, it was the lead into Seinfeld. whatever it was, there was nothing on. It was a hellscape. So they have this show that has the feel of being like in the Seinfeld kind of universe, and they marketed it that way. So everybody watched Friends, I think, leading into Seinfeld. And we watched the first season. And by the time we got to the end of the first season, we were like, I'm not really enjoying this. And then it just became, let's just watch Seinfeld.
I'm going to tell you that
skip.
Mad About You is greater than Friends. And
it is.
I will stand 10 toes down on that, and I will argue with you.
I will agree. I will agree. It's not great.
Whatever happened to Paul Reiser?
I'm sure he's on, what is it, Planet N47 with the aliens right now. I actually liked Mad About You. I don't really like it now when I tried to rewatch it, but I don't feel like I did about Friends. It just it didn't age for me.
It's the only time you actually see Hank Azaria's face.
Right. No, you saw his face in Godzilla. Remember?
Oh no, what's that other movie he's in where he plays like the dumb like swim instructor or something?
Oh my God. He's great in that. Birdcage.
Yeah.
And he has that accent, and you're like, the whole time you're like, is this misappropriation or I don't?
Well, what is his first time?
Yeah, but then maybe for him especially. But then you're like, I'm not sure what. Oh my God! But that movie, I mean, Robin Williams, of course, but we are huge Nathan Lane fans in our house. Like,
as you should be.
We binged. Here's something we binged. We did the entirety of Modern Family.
Oh.
And you know what? We had dropped off when we originally watched it. We watched it for a few seasons and really loved it. And then we dropped off. We're like, why did we never go back to this? There is one episode. We hit it here too, and we almost dropped off again. And we're like, oh, this. It was one of them. I think it's when they go on it was obviously, we're going to take the cast to Hawaii and let them, and it was like so bad. And we're like, ugh. And the characters, like they weren't even the characters. And like, it was so bad, but we muscled through it and ended up really enjoying the rest of the show. But a lot of that show for me is Pepper.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as Pepper's on, it's 5 stars every time. I'm like, how is it that this minor character? It's because it's Nathan Lane. He is just the guy. I love Nathan Lane.
I hate Modern Family for one reason. In the final season of Lost had to move a whole damn time slot and day just to accommodate Modern Family because that was the wonder child of ABC at the time. So I'd never gotten to Modern Family, but I do know Pepper.
Yeah, Pepper is fabulous. And you know what? It is worth watching. I'm not a big sitcom guy. I used to watch them. I don't really care for them.
I would prefer the middle because I love me some Patricia Heaton stuff.
I like her too. I didn't make it through that show either. I watched some of it. It's all right. But I don't really like sitcoms that much. Seinfeld I loved.
The sitcom I don't understand, and this is
and I did love Modern Family.
Romano is Everybody Loves Raymond. I've never understood that show. You
know what? I get it. I think it's funny.
Are you the wonder child? No.
Sometimes I think it's really funny. I really hate. Okay, everyone loves the parents, right?
Mm-hmm.
I hate how
Frank
awful.
Is miserable.
He's awful, and the mom is like the worst kind of
the worst
boomer.
Mother-in-law you could. I wouldn't.
And it's
worse than
to the point that it's not funny.
I never got that one either. Yeah.
To the point that it's not funny. It's like, no, this is awful, and yeah, but the stuff that's funny, I think, is actually really funny. And Brad Garrett's really funny on that show.
Well, yes,
like,
of course.
He just walks around being funny.
Till Death Do Us Part is a way better show for him.
See, there you go. I have not watched that one, but I know that's supposed to be good.
Yeah, it ran on Fox unbelievably for I think 7 seasons. I didn't even know that. I thought it got canceled after season 4.
It seems like the only sitcoms that we like are not necessarily sitcoms. It's all the British stuff. Like, we fall into that. Yeah. We watched Bad Sisters. That's on Hulu.
It's so many shows.
But did you ever watch the show Catastrophe?
Mm-mm.
Oh, Catastrophe is really good. It's on Amazon Prime. It's a BBC show. It's a British show.
Okay.
Where this Irish woman has a one-night stand with this big doofus American guy, and she gets pregnant. And then the show is about them like trying to figure out like a relationship. And you can tell there's a relationship, but at the same time, they're freaking terrible. And like, we watched it. It was like, I don't love it, but I do love it. It was definitely worth watching. Really, like, we loved the people in it. She is one of the sisters in Bad Sisters, and that is a great show. And then the other one we just watched with her also is The Letdown. Is that the name of it? There's one called The Letdown we just watched. Have you seen that one? It's on Netflix. Letdown.
I'm this close, like literally this close to canceling Netflix. There's nothing on there for me.
Well, you got one more season of Stranger Things worth hanging in there for. Oh no, the Letdown was really good. That's a different one. That's Australian, I believe. We actually really enjoyed that one. I can't think of the name of this one. But here, I could do it this way. Catastrophe.
I love how Lilith was like, "Oh, he don't have time to watch TV."
The only thing, I mean, we watch it at night.
I have cut down my binging. Actually, when I find a show that I want to watch, I only do one episode, unless I'm like doing it for like Salty and Patty, obviously.
If we do that, we'll never come back to it. That's a problem. We know that it's like you got a window. We get in there. Sharon Horgan is the name of the actress. Maybe not. Yeah, Sharon Horgan is the actress that we really like. She's Irish. This Way Up. You got to see the sister. It's two Irish sisters, and see, this is what I like about these. I guess they're sitcoms, but they're not sitcoms like these American things, and they're not like the BBC sitcoms that I also like Men Behaving Badly, which I thought was hilarious.
Yes, that's a good one.
The American one, not so great, which I actually auditioned to replace Rob, whatever his name is.
Shut up! You did not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and my agent was like, "From your mouth to God's ear, you are the guy that should be in this show." Like, she was like, "Your read was so funny," and then I didn't even get called out to LA for it. But my agent, who wasn't usually so effusive, was like, "Oh my God, like, you're the guy." Aisling B plays the sister. Trust me, it's just really, really good show, and Aisling B is hilarious. But it's a British one, so it's like, or it's a BBC one, so it's not like American sitcoms. One of the main characters isn't in a thing for trying to commit suicide in the first episode, but here that's what we get. That's why I love it. They're just a little bit more grounded and real, and the funny character stuff. It's like, yeah, I live with this person. I know what that funny is, as opposed to Everybody Loves Raymond, where you're like, I would murder that mother. You know what I mean?
So your agent wasn't Katie from Seinfeld?
Now, you want to hear another one? Here's something I just realized. I went to a thing back when I was first acting in Chicago. My agent sent me to a thing. It was a talk, and it had 3 actors that were, only one of them was kind of known at the time. It was Richard Kind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He wasn't famous yet.
It wasn't Colin Farrell.
It was William Peterson, who at that time had only done To Live and Die in LA, which I loved. Oh, and Manhunter. God. Oh, I love Manhunter.
Yeah.
And then I don't remember who the third guy was. Anyway, I went to this to see these guys talk, and they were just talking about the acting business. And I ended up getting to talk to him. It was really cool. William Peterson was awesome. I went up to him and I was like, "Oh God, I loved you in Manhunter." We got talking about acting. He invited me to an actor bar. He was like, whenever the famous actors come into town, we go to this one bar. It's in like this horrible part of town. It was called like the Gaslight or something. And it's a dive. And he was like, "I'll introduce you to everybody." He goes, "Literally, if there's a producer in town, they're there. It's safe here because nobody knows we go here." Right? I didn't go. Story of my life. Anyway, I sat next to this woman who the whole time was taking notes. And she leans over and she's like, "You've got a good look." And I was like, "Oh, okay." She's coming on to me. First of all, that never happened. So I've never been come on to. So awesome. She goes, "You should send me your stuff." And I said, "Oh, are you an agent?" She said, "No, I'm a casting director." She's the woman, you see her name on every episode of Seinfeld for casting Seinfeld. She cast all those shows.
Mm-hmm.
And she was out of New York. She was there to see these guys. And she was like, "You should send me your stuff." I sent it. Nothing happened. But how cool is that? And then the other one that you just reminded me of, and I just lost it. What did you just say before that?
Oh,
It wasn't Seinfeld. Wasn't Men Behaving Badly. It's gone.
Likes Raymond, Friends.
No, it was something Lilith had just said in there, and it was another person that I had met or whatever. I'll give you a Richard Kind show that you should watch. On Amazon, there's one called I lost it. It's one about a kid, a young guy that works at a Red Oaks.
Oh, yeah. I watched the first 3 episodes of that.
It's good. It's worth watching. And Richard Kind, he's the dad, and he like calls his son the whole time sweetheart. Like, he's just so loving. I'm just like,
well, that's actually a Richard Kind kind of catchphrase. He says that in every show.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh, he was so
Even in,
sweet.
Stargate, he says sweetheart when he plays that guy in Stargate. Yeah.
I absolutely loved him on that show. I didn't love every minute of the show. Like the ending, it was like, okay, it's a little quick, but it's a great show. Really worth watching. So we didn't watch that one recently though, Phil. Sorry. Did I answer your question, Phil? What have we been watching?
We got more than enough. We got more than enough content for that. But yeah, it was really great catching up with you. Thank you for taking this time. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what blossoms out of your Substack.
Yeah, there's going to be lots of stuff coming up. And I will be back for episode 7 if you guys will have me. So just let me know what time. And
I mean, your picture's right there. So
I'll show up.
I mean,
I'll be here.
What are we going to do? Substitute this with Charlie Esser?
Oh.
Well, let me tell you about what I've been watching on TV. Not on full steam ahead. I'm Shirley Esser.
Oh my God! Can you imagine if
I'm Rob Southgate, and on Svengoolie this week.
You've been recast, good sir. You've been recast.
April Fool's episode will be like, Charlie, come on and just pretend to be Rob.
Oh, please God, do that. Make the April Fool's episode. Let Charlie be me. Recast it as Charlie is me.
Both of you on. He has to be Rob, and you have to be Charlie.
Please do it. Please do it. Oh my God! Please do it.
So you'll be Charlie.
Sure, I'll be Charlie. I gotta start growing my weird mustache.
Just get one of those little paste on.
No, you know what? I'll do the full like handlebar thing that goes down. I'm losing some hair, so I could say that I could.
Oh,
I could be Phil. Yeah, look, I look like Phil now. So I guess I'd be better being Phil.
I love your Mr. Robot hat, by the way.
What was that?
I love your Mr. Robot hat.
Yeah, and you know what? This week Molly pointed out that it's Mr. Rob Ott. I wear this all the time. I love Mr. Robot. Boy, that's
I never finished that show.
Are you kidding?
I gave up in season 2.
Are you kidding? Lilith, it just keeps getting better. They keep flipping cards. It keeps getting better. I can't believe you fell off on that. I loved that show. Oh, Lilith. Finally, we found something I'm disappointed in you on.
I never finished Falling Skies either. Like, literally the last episode I never watched.
You know what? You only have to listen to my podcast about that one.
Exactly.
But the last season is really nuts. So if you like
I didn't
insane,
make it to like the last 3 episodes, if I'm being honest.
That's what you got to watch.
Yeah,
that's where you're like, okay, this just not only went off the rails, but it crashed into the ending of Lost and went on fire. So it's like, this is like it. The last 3 episodes are like watching the last season of Under the Dome. Like the whole time you're like, what am I watching and why is this happening? But it's still great.
I mean, I have my medicinal license now, so that'll be perfect.
Yes. And Falling Skies has a place in my heart forever because it's how I met Doug Jones. So how do you not remember it fondly when you got to meet Doug Jones?
I remember that. I got a big hug from Doug Jones.
I also met Will Wheaton because of that show.
Oh, really?
Because he did a Falling Skies podcast.
Yeah.
He was at a booth. Nobody was walking up to him. He was just sitting
like the
there.
After show for you, I remember.
He's just sitting there by himself. And
way.
I was with Maeve, and she goes, "You should go talk to Will Wheaton." And I was like, "It's kind of weird if I don't have something to say." And I was like, "Oh, wait, he does a Falling Skies podcast as well." So I walked up and I said, "Hey, you do Falling Skies?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I said, "I do one too." And he goes, "Oh, what?" So we started talking about Falling Skies. As soon as I delved into anything that was about like Star Trek or anything. I just asked a question. He's shut down.
Yeah.
And I said, because I was just like, I'm not here to talk about that. I said, I just wanted to meet you and tell you I'm a big fan and I love Fallen Skies. He was like, thanks, man.
You
I was
should have
like,
talked about D&D, bud.
I should have, but at that time we didn't know. How about that? Last thing. How about the Hasbro thing? They're going to ruin it.
I said, give it to if you wanted to go down in flames even faster. I told Chantel, I was like, let's gaslight Elon Musk into buying Hasbro. He'll destroy it in a week.
Either that or let Warner Brothers take it. So I hear that
it's
hire
crazy.
Joss Whedon to take over the whole thing, though.
Ooh.
Every character will have a mustache. So yeah,
And a foot fetish.
It's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy what's going on there. And it's like, you know what? At the same time, I look at it and I go, there are a lot of games out there that can definitely take the crown because everyone's leaving D&D because
come on, it's your time to shine, baby.
There's all sorts of games. And you know what? Yeah, Vampire the Masquerade. What about Pathfinder itself? It doesn't need D&D. Yeah. You know, Warhammer has a huge following. What about all these great mini games and all those creators
getting a TV show on top of that? So yeah,
all those people that are creating games like Chantal that are writing it for D&D, use a different engine. Just start writing for a different engine. You still tell your stories, and they're going to accept it. Monster of the Week is an unbelievable game to play. You could create all day in that. So, you know, Hasbro, you're fumbling the football and you're kicking it as you fumble.
You know,
and
they lost the Disney Princess license not too long ago. They gave it back to Mattel. So yeah, Hasbro's going downhill bad. I think that Marvel's actually going to take that license back too pretty soon.
Awesome.
You know, they do all their cheap, shitty action figures that I hate.
Yeah.
So,
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I think I take it all back.
And you know what? Here's the other crazy part. So, you know, it's all a mess and people are running away from D&D. You're not going to run away from D&D. You're just not going to buy the new stuff. There's a million things out there, but there's a million things. You can play it for free all day long. You can do all sorts of stuff. It's just their new content will be gone. And you know what?
That person, arg me matey, you know, come here me beardies, you know.
Exactly. Well, and you know, there was a website.
In that situation, I feel like that's the morally correct choice at this point.
There was a website, and I'm sure somebody's going to put this back out, that took when TSR went up in flames, and Hasbro said, or Whistle Coast, we don't want that content. They put up thousands of TSR modules for free. You could download for free. Guess what? Those are awesome. And I did that with the Marvel stuff that TSR did. They did a Marvel series that was amazing. It was a great game. Nobody owns the rights anymore. Nobody owns them. So a guy put it up on a website. I downloaded it was something ridiculous, like 200 modules plus all the game stuff. And it's an amazing game. And they're like, the guy put on there, he goes, if somebody owns the rights, I'll gladly take it down. But I got a lawyer to look into it and nobody owns it. And I'm not selling it. I'm giving it away for free. I also got the Indiana Jones game that way too, which is not good. But
I've never heard good things about it, but it's cool to have.
It's cool to have. And you know what? I always figured that's one that when I'm playing with somebody, we'll just homebrew it. We'll take what's there and alter it a little bit, and then it'll be awesome because there's nothing better than breaking the game and making it your own.
There's your trademark. There's your line.
There it is. All right, I'm out. I got to go to the store and take care of some COVID people here.
All right. Always a pleasure, sir.
Thank you. And follow my Substack. It's called Mic Drop. You can find me at Southgate Media Group. You can find me at the Podcast Profs. You can find me at Southgate Small Business, which is where I'm doing a lot of stuff. Find me on LinkedIn, and you can also find Southgate Small Business on there and find all this newsletter stuff there. And subscribe to the Substack, which is going to be really interesting going forward. And look at our YouTube channel where we still post things from Capes and Lunatics, and I push them back to Capes and Lunatics from there as well. And lots of old content that is still relevant. It's evergreen. So check that out. It's Southgate Media Group on YouTube. I think I got it all out.
Media.
Oh, yeah. And I'm about to start dropping new Media Lab. You can subscribe on wherever you get your podcasts. I'm so excited. But that's nerdy business stuff. So if you like that nerdy business marketing stuff, you're going to really like this show.
First half of this podcast.
You're going to really like this show. And the new episodes, I'm just so happy with. I'm so proud of. Finally, after 3 seasons, I got a show that I can go, yeah, this is getting where I want it to be. And it's going to add value, that's what I want to do. Help people add value. So there we go.
Yay. See, look at that. 1 minute.
Play 'em up, Phil.
Five minutes of info in 1 minute. See, he did it.
Look at the show notes. Get all the rest of it there.
Phil.
Yes.
Don't be surprised.
That's right, kids. He's not number one. He's not even number two. The third best Southgate.
Hey, if you like this song, this is Patrik Tanner and the Faraway Men.
Yes.
Yes, and don't just listen on Spotify because those artists get nothing. They get pennies. If you like it, order it from them. I think you can get the disc for $10 or get the digital download for $10. It's such a great album, and all of Patrik's stuff is great. So it's Patrik Tanner, Patrik with a K, no C in there. So it's in the show notes, though, right, Phil?
Yes. Yes.
Order his music. Support the artist.
Support this Robert Southgate.
Yes. Support that.